raise over $75,000 in less than 5 days. Just because you're a small business doesn't mean you can't have a big impact. One of the biggest campaigns we ever did was our Jasper Wildfire Relief t-shirt. This year, this summer, wildfires has been increasing here in Canada and many parts of the world. And Jasper was one place that got hit particularly hard this summer. The Jasper wildfires started to get out of control. We contacted our designer, said, hey, can you create us a Jasper design? And within 24 hours, we had a design. Came up with this is an iconic location in Jasper. So how can we help? So we threw this up as a pre-sale, and we did our research, and we found that Canadian Red Cross, who has been there to help many situations like these, was there. And the best part was that both the provincial government and the federal government were matching every single donation. So for every dollar that you donated to the Canadian Red Cross, the provincial government would donate $1 and the federal government would donate $1. So we realized that we could triple our impact with every dollar that we raised. So we decided to put this t-shirt up online, and we decided to run it as a pre-sale. So what a pre-sale means is that we didn't actually have these t-shirts in our hands. Typically, to create a t-shirt, it takes 4 weeks to cut and sew and ship and print and get it into the warehouse, get it in inventory. We didn't have that kind of time with Jasper Wildfires. They needed donations now. So we ran it as a pre-sale, which we were able to sell online. We take the orders, and then based on the orders, however many we get, that's how many we put in production. So it's also a really good model to run because there's no waste. We create exactly the number of shirts that are needed. So we came up with this design. Our designer worked overnight to come up with this really great design, and it went live. We set a timeline. We only wanted to give it a couple days because we wanted to make that donation ASAP. Put it up on a Thursday night, and we said, you have till Tuesday the following week to get your order in. And it was just wild. Orders were coming in fast and furious. Everyone knew what was going on, especially here in Alberta. They've experienced its beauty. They wanted help, but they didn't know how. And we said 100% of all the profits will go to the Jasper Wildfire. We worked with our manufacturer to get these shirts done, to cut us a break. So they were very generous. They essentially gave them to us at cost. We went to our decorator, and they did the same thing. I think they even did they even did it for free. We went with a one color print because every time you add an additional color or print location, it adds to the cost of the shirt. So we wanted to produce the shirt in order to maximize the donation amount. Overnight, we had hundreds of orders, hundreds. 5 days go by, we'd sold 1,000 t-shirts. People that were buying hundreds of these for their companies, for their families. We ended up raising just over $25,000, which then when we donated got matched by the provincial government and then matched by the federal government. So we were able to raise over $75,000 for the Canadian Red Cross in 5 days, thanks to our community. I really like this example because we're on a mission to raise $1 million to local charities by 2030. And the reason I decided to pick $1 million because when I first started, I would see all these big businesses donating $1 million checks. And a lot of small businesses feel that you have to get big in order to have an impact. You can't donate until you start to make a lot of money. And I kind of wanted to challenge that. I wanted to say that just because you're a small business doesn't mean you can't have a big impact. Sometimes it's a $10 donation, a $5 donation. Sometimes it's a donation of your time, of your resources, of your team's time. If you're a small business, you can have a massive impact. And that's exactly what we did. We didn't have a ton of money, but we thought, you know what? We know how to make t-shirts. We know how to share a story. We found a great cause that we can donate the funds to, and that's exactly what we did. It became so popular, we just brought it back. We also just brought it back in black because we want to continue sharing that story of Jasper. Even though a ton of it was devastated by the wildfires, it's still there. It's a resilient community. It's not going anywhere. And we hope that our donation to the Canadian Red Cross had an impact. So if you're a small business, never underestimate the big impact that you can have. Use the tools you already have and rally your community. Every business has some form of community around it. Thank you to everyone who supported our Jasper Wildfire fundraiser tee. So are you ready to grow your business? You ready to make an impact? Follow along for more details as I share more stories behind the scenes. My name is Curran, one of the co-owners of Local Laundry. Thanks again for watching.